20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
G'day guys, Chriso here. So this is a bit of my kind of... I've got a valley here in Tapuki. I've got just over 8 acres, and I'm lucky enough that the secondary pioneers, the Manuka and the Kanuka here behind me, have been planted out here for about 15 years. Now I just want to talk a little bit about green cropping. We're just going to walk up here to where I'm just finished installing the green manure a little while ago. Oh my gosh, my goat. She's been up here, she jumped into this paddock and she's decided that all the sugarcane that's planted along this border has all been munched, along with, I had a whole heap of bananas that were just thrown in there just so that they were in the ground. If you've got pots and your plants are there, the restriction that those pots will have is absolutely amazing. I'll show you later on an area of bunna grass where I did an experiment where I kept some in pots and planted some out. What the differences were over an 8-month period. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, this little strip here on one of the ridges, I planted this out with a green crop. So at the moment I've got mustard seed and blue lupin in this one. So this is, I planted this out, mulched the soil in. This was rock hard, this soil, about 2.5 months ago. And if you look down here at the soil now, look at that. So yeah, there's just truckloads of mustard seed and lupin in here because I'm going to allow that to grow for the entire period. It's about a 20-meter little line here. I'm going to allow that to grow over winter, and then the prep for this particular line will be absolutely ready to supercharge and grow coming into spring. You'll see that I've left all this Kanuka here, so it's a massive big sun pocket here, but all this Kanuka is going to protect it, and as the food forest starts to grow up, start to drop that down a little bit more. I'll be planting some pioneer species out here in the next couple of weeks so that they can overwinter as well. This will be awesome to just watch this particular ridge line in the next year or so. So just a little bit about a green crop manure. So good just to get it growing in the ground. I'll see if I can actually, let me just pull one of these out. Not quite at the nodule stages. Now we'll just pull out one of these nitrogen fixing blue lupins here. There we go. Now, if you look on the side of that, you'll see that little nodule right there. So that one there has been basically the nitrogen from the atmosphere gone down into through the plant down into the soil via this. Now, what I mean by down into the soil, it hasn't actually hit the soil yet because it's still tied up inside the plant root system. Once we do the chopping down of all this green manure, then that will die and that little nitrogen nodule will be absorbed and bioavailable for all the microorganisms in the soil. The new plants that are in this system will be able to uptake that nitrogen. Absolutely awesome. So with regards to the way that I actually did this, I'll insert some photos here just to give you a bit of an idea, but I've managed to rotary hoe this section here and I've added about 2 tons of cow manure and I've just rotary hoed that in. Now, previously I was very no-till, but because of the amount of compaction, how hard this soil is along this ridgeline, this ridgeline was probably cut out of here about 40 years ago, and it hasn't had a lot on it. Before I planted this, this was actually pretty solid and not a lot in it. So with regards to the rotary hoeing, I think it was absolutely the right thing to do for this particular area, because I've just churned it up. Yes, I've tilled the soil, but what this material, this green material, is going to be doing for the and the mixture of the cow manure through there is just going to be so much more beneficial long term. Now I'm just going to dig down and I'll show you a couple of different samples of outside. And then a sample from in here. So now if you look at this area here, and you can see where the water content, it's actually quite dry down the bottom here. So this is in the area that I've just left. Yes, there's been grass growing over it, but you can see that's really quite dry down there. And then look at the difference in soil. It's only been a few months. Just the water permeability of this soil by tilling it. And you can see the root structures just starting to come through already. Now this has only been 2 months. And look at how all those roots are in there. So that's creating a network. All these nitrogen fixing roots are going to be burrowing down, allowing water to percolate through, whereas here it's quite compacted. Look at that, the difference in that. That is awesome. So good to see. So it just shows you that this being so hard, the water can't even get through it. Now this has had exactly the same amount of rain on it, underneath bone dry, absolutely bone dry underneath that. And that's maybe 50 mil, 75 mil under the soil, and it's bone dry. Awesome, I hope you've just enjoyed that little quick course on soil conditioning and the benefits of green crop manure, especially over the winter period. Now, I've got a little present here, which I'm just going to whip open. Look at this. Asimina triloba, American pawpaw. There's 100 of these. So I want you to keep an eye on the courses that are going to be coming up. I'll be doing some propagation with these, and also the next one I'm just about to drop in one of the courses is air pruning beds. So stick around, keep an eye on the course content, and happy growing.